The troubles in Northern Ireland are what hit the headlines. But even with all that, believe it or not, it's one of the safest places in Europe. So what happened to Hugh Cameron?
You told me they were very rare.
They're a lovely board.
Beautiful.
Marty, take a wee look down over there and see if that's what I think it is.
I hope that's not what you think it is, really do.
Hello, is that the Larne Police? We're here in Nachaboy Road. There's a body in the river.
Hugh went out on the 19th of October for an evening out, and he never returned. As the weeks went past, we were clutching at straws, really. I got a phone call to say that there was a body found in the Glens of Antrim. And at that point we didn't know, but it sounded very like Hugh. Hugh lived a very quiet life in Carrick. His three passions were motor scooters, supporting the football team in the running, and that was it. Every night he went out for a run. Hugh ran 30 marathons, and his latest charity was stillborn children. And he had booked to go to the Dublin Marathon, which would have been his 31st. And he never made it.
Nightlife is pub life in Carrickfergus, and there are many to choose from. Hugh rarely went to the Central Bar and didn't know many of the regulars, but a work friend, Marty, had suggested they meet there.
Cheers, love, thanks.
Many of the people who were around that night have taken part in this reconstruction.
Morning. How's it going? You well?
All right, here you go, bud.
All right, mate. How's it going? This is Hugh.
All right.
A lot of people liked him. They all said Hugh was a nice guy and kind. He'd always be bantering and joking and generally keeping everyone going.
So we're heading to out this, go over to Dobbins or Owen? The Onies for a bit of crack. Onies, let's go to Onies. Alright, let's go.
I'm going to get a taxi up that Pheasant Bar, right?
Why not come with us?
Alright, fair enough, okay.
Come on, you, hurry up.
I'm coming.
Hugh drew a few pounds from a cash point in High Street. Then he and the others strode off to the Joymount Arms, a pub known locally as Owen's. Again, it's a bar Hugh didn't normally go to.
Carlsberg. 4 pints of Carlsberg, pint of Guinness, please. Nice one. Thank you. How long did you stay there for? 4 years.
How long?
4 years. Brilliant place.
He did all his travelling. He came home to Ireland to settle down from Australia. And that was his goal, to settle down and have children.
Hugh booked a taxi for later to take him home.
Taxi, book for later on.
There's Cameron. 12:30. No, what time do you close it?
Close at 1.
You close 1, no, make it 1.
Yeah. Where are you going to?
Going to Henley. Nice. All right, cheers, Bill, thanks. Who's the bar playing up the stairs?
It's luscious.
Is it any good?
Yeah, all right.
Huh? How much are your tickets?
£3 each.
I'll give us 2. Me and Marty will be well into that. Who's going up, man? You not going up, no? No, mate, I'm going to sit here and drink the Guinness.
Let's go and get some meat.
Yeah, go to the store. Chinese?
Fancy Chinese?
No, I mean, I have my taxi booked for 1. So
right. No problem, man.
All right.
Yeah, no problem. Sure, we'll see you again.
Good to see you.
And
Yep.
Yeah.
Pleasure. Yep. Take it easy.
All the best.
All right.
All right. Cheers, now. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Taxi for Cameron.
Hugh wasn't known here at Owen's, so maybe he just wasn't told that the taxi was there. Or perhaps he was in the backyard. At any rate, he didn't emerge, and eventually the cab left without him.
No worries.
Time now, please.
Some of the people you're watching now were here at the Joymount Arms that night. But we need to trace the others, especially those in the backyard where people go to make mobile phone calls. Did anyone see Hugh? Or anyone with him? It looked like he was waiting for somebody. But maybe not. A few minutes later he was out at the front, and we don't know what happened after that. Did someone give him a lift? Where to? Did he upset someone? Why? Sometime after 4:30 in the morning he was stabbed, hit over the head and had his throat cut. The pathologist thought at least 2 killers were involved. There may be a clue in where he was dumped, most likely from the Capana Bridge, a remote spot on the Starbog Road.
Every day I see a runner, I think of Hugh. I see him running along the road. I see a man on a motor scooter, I think of Hugh. When I hear anyone talking about marathons, I think of Hugh. And I didn't realise how much I cared for him.
Well, Pat, given that this is Northern Ireland, one thing we didn't mention in the film is whether there's any paramilitary connection. He wasn't involved in anything like that, was he?
There's no evidence whatsoever that that this was a paramilitary murder, or B, that Hugh Cameron was involved in paramilitary activity of any kind, or indeed drug dealing, drug usage, or criminality of any kind whatsoever.
So what was the motive?
6 months into this inquiry, we do not know what the motive was. We don't know who killed Hugh Cameron, we don't know why they killed him, and we don't know where they killed him. What we do know is he came upon a brutal death. He had been savagely attacked, he'd been stabbed, he'd been bludgeoned, and I'm sorry to have to say that there is evidence to suggest that he was tortured prior to his death.
Well, you have got one very good clue, haven't you, which is paint that was found on his jumper.
We have paint retrieved from the rear of Hugh Cameron's jumper, which we believe is inextricably linked to the manner in which he met his death. It's a lilac-coloured paint, it's a vinyl silk emulsion. It's been applied with some force. In other words, something with that paint on it has hit Hugh Cameron hard, or Hugh Cameron has hit something painted that colour hard. By that I'm talking about potentially a wall, a radiator, a shelf, or some source of that.
And presumably, if say he hit a wall, for example, there would be blood stains on that wall.
The nature of Hugh Cameron's injuries are such that there's likely to be a significant amount of blood spilt, both in a room, if indeed that's what it was, on a wall of that colour. On the floor, was carpet changed, was a wall repainted, and indeed on the clothing of the person or the people who killed Hugh.
And in fact, he fought back against them, didn't he? So he could have injured them.
There's clear evidence that he fought back, and the people who killed him may well have been carrying injuries around the 20th of October of last year.
And where his body was dumped, it's a pretty remote spot, isn't it?
Hugh was recovered from convenient to the Skye Bridge. However, we believe his body actually went into the water at Capana Bridge. It's some 7 miles northwest of Larne. It's very remote. We believe that whoever dumped his body there must have had a connection with that area, be it in their history or presently. We believe they must have been connected to that area.
Okay, well, there's one other thing as well. A lot of people who were at the pub that night, it was the Joymount Arms, wasn't it? A lot of people who came, who were in the pub that night were actually in our reconstruction, as we said, but there's still some people that the police still want to hear from. People who are in the yard, the beer garden at the back, or people who are out at the front. We still want to hear from you. Give the police a call. You know, everyone says that he was just a regular guy. Why on earth would someone want to kill him? Call us here in the studio or the instant room. That's on 02 828 272 266.